Hello, everyone. This is Delphine and Peter. I will be taking you through the planning pipelines. So, what is a deep planning pipeline? This is a structured framework for building, training, validating, deploying, and monitoring the planning models. There are some of the key importance of having a deep planning pipeline. It's consistent, can be reproducible. There's efficiency when you have automation inside. If you want to experiment and do a lot of iterations, that's the key to have a deep planning pipeline. If you're having dealing with large scale models, it can be really nice for scalability. And of course, if you are collaborating among team members. There are five key components of a deep planning pipeline. One is data management. We know of collection, preprocessing, augmentation. There's the model deployment, where architecture parameter tuning is. There's training and validation for metric and evaluation methods. There's deployment, where we have model serving infrastructure. There's monitoring and maintenance, where there's performance metrics and retraining.
Thank you, Delphine. So I'll continue from the common challenges, and among uh, the challenges that we have, we normally have the data quality. Yeah, so it's always good to ensure that the data you're using is accurate and consistent and also reliable. So there's also a challenge of the scalability. Yeah, because um, as your data As your data keeps increasing, your pipeline should be able to handle the increasing amount of data efficiently. And we also have a challenge of integration, whereby your pipeline will be having multiple systems and processes, and you have to find a way of seamlessly combining these. Then also monitoring. Yeah, since it's an iterative process, so you have to ensure that you're continuously observing the performance of the system. So ML ops is like it's a subset of DevOps. So what ML ops does, it tries to borrow ideas from DevOps. And so below here, we have some of the four major concepts in DevOps, which we try to integrate into machine learning, and we call it MLOps. So the first one is continuous integration, whereby you ensure that you're regularly changing, regular updates of your code are always reflected in the new system, and the tests, you're always testing regularly. And we also have continuous delivery, whereby you're automating the deployment process, basically trying to limit the manual approach. So this will ensure that the software updates are easy and automated. And we also have the monitoring, whereby you keep tracking the performance and the system performance and the model effectiveness over time. And finally, we have automation, where you try to automate, where you try to streamline processes and reduce errors. So here we have a visual summary of the deep learning pipeline, from the data collection and pre-processing, and to the model development, then to the training and validation, to the model deployment, and finally the monitoring and maintenance. So in this course, we are going to mainly focus on the model development and training and validation. And you can see that at each step, we have examples of the possible technologies that you could use. So maybe later on after the course, you could try to explore these technologies and see how you can come up with a fully fledged deep learning pipeline. So in the further reading, we have some of the very good books in this area of deploying machine learning systems. So we have two recommendations here, but you're allowed to explore, and but perhaps this could be a good start. You could find this free on O'Reilly using your Android ID. Yeah. So finally, the key takeaways from this recitation is pipelines will enable you to structure and make your workflows more scalable and reliable. And they also help to automate and reproduce your results. And the collaboration and documentation and version control are very essential for success in the deep learning pipelines. So on a final note, these pipelines will basically enable you to move away from just writing notebooks to actually deploying actual machine learning systems in production. Thank you. And that is it for this recitation.